Cash. Only cash. Lately, I've been in the wedding business.
Actually, Viraf, we could have done this at your home, right? but for everybody here, and I'm sure for a lot of us who have come out of the house of Wizcraft, and we still say once a Wiz, always a Wiz, the story of live entertainment in India is in some form the story of Wizcraft and vice versa. For that, let's give a big hand to Wizcraft and the three wizards who did this together. And truly, we owe that to you guys. So let's begin at the onset only, right, Viraf? Like, how did it come to be? I mean, few of us know the story of how Wizcraft happened, and Wizcraft, the name, has stayed. Like, you really had a vision of you're going to create magic. So how did that come to be, and how did you three jam in together, if that can be the start point?
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, I'm here, and Wizcraft is where it is because of the three of us, not just me. And that's Sabas, Andre. Andre couldn't be here today, so on behalf of Andre, Sabas, and myself, I'd like to thank you guys and for having me here. This all started actually when Andre and I, we were running a nightclub called Xanadu in Juhu, and we were just about to do an opening of the nightclub. Sabas was a journalist, and he came to interview us. And we just got along like fire. And then after doing a couple of events to promote the nightclub and parties and things like that, we realized that there's a talent out here between the three of us. And we should get out of this nightclub business because we're going to sleep at 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning every day. So I told Andre, let's get out of here and let's start something. Sabas was there. So three of us sat down. I remember we were at the Hotel Horizon poolside and we were discussing about the names, and there were so many names, and finally it came down to Witchcraft and then Wizards, and then we married Wizards and Witchcraft and became Wizcraft. So that's how
Awesome.
Wizcraft happened.
Like Dur Drusti, right? Literally, you could see through a crystal ball that this is going to be timeless, the name Wizcraft in some form.
Yeah.
I think we have a picture of those years back. Can I have that picture on? There's a photograph which I pulled out from somewhere. Is that on the screen? I don't think we can see, Viraf. But that's something which I was party to. I
Put
don't
it on
Viraf,
this screen also, no?
This is the one where a few of us were part of when the Abbeys had a category for events, and Wizcraft won not one, not two, but 3 awards, and 1 gold or 2 golds and 1 silver. And that was an iconic picture which was in a print. It was out in print for the first time somewhere. So that was a big one for all of us who were learning at that time of event management getting recognized.
Thank you.
And
I'll see the picture tomorrow.
of what happens, when you really believe in the power of your dreams. And I have a small little snippet of myself, Viraf, which I think I've shared with you. When I joined Wizcraft, we were called party planners, we were called decorators, we were called whatever. We were never called event managers, forget experiential marketeers. And I remember one day going back home, I think 6 months down the line, and my father opened the door at some 4 in the morning and said, what black marketing business have you got into? Right? But one event and one man changed that for me, for us, and probably for the industry. That one big concert, Viraf, from where it probably became a household name, the Michael Jackson concert. So if we can dwell a bit for some who probably know that story, how Michael Jackson came to be and happened into our country in some form.
It's a full movie story, but I'll sum it up in a short film. Actually, that time there was no internet, there was no mobile phones, nothing. So we were in office and we got a fax from Michael Jackson management that he wants to come to India and then he wants us to do it. And we just thought, the three of us saw the fax and said, I think someone is playing a April Fool's joke on us. And we didn't respond. So after about 15 days, we got another fax. I said, somebody's really taking our trip. But it may be true. So we had a contact in London who was a artist agent of some kind. And so we sent the fax to him saying that, can you check whether this is for real? And then he spoke to Michael's manager, Marcel Avram, and he called back with solid excitement and saying, "You guys are mad not to respond. This is for real." So we had just done a Michael Jackson lookalike concert tour just before that, just before the Michael Jackson show, and we had a massive loss. So
Massive loss on a lookalike show.
yeah, and now this real guy has come in our life. We didn't know whether it was real, it was a hoax or what. So he said, we don't believe, we have to meet him and understand from him personally that this is the real Michael Jackson and he wants us to do the show. So we need to meet him. So his management told us, come down. They put us up at Beverly Hilton in LA. And next, you know that we were with Michael Jackson. And there's only one thing I told him, and he was canceling a lot of shows at that point in his last history tour because of the cases on him, etc. So I told him that if you really not come after committing to us, and we've come all the way to LA, our three young guys' future will die before it takes off. So either you give us life or you kill us by not coming. And he said, I'm coming, but the first thing I want to do is I want to see your faces in my private jet when I come. Only then I'll get off the aircraft. And that's exactly what happened. And it became real. So we somehow made it happen. And it was a very short time, I remember, very short period. We didn't have money. We didn't have so many things. And it was a magical period. That was really golden, that period. And yeah, we had a very successful event.
Absolutely. And I remember that we were, 12 of us only in the office, and it was a one-bedroom apartment on Hill Road, about 200 square feet office, and from there, India's probably biggest concert was pulled off by
Yes, this was, I think, the first ever biggest. I think he was king of pop. And also, at that point in time, I'm just saying so that just in that same period, the Shiv Sena was in power in Maharashtra, and the CM was Manohar Joshi and Bal Thackeray, and he was, the Shiv Sena were against pop culture and against Western culture, and they were really taking some serious action for that. And we had to go and convince the man that we are bringing the king of pop, who's to come. And it was a real crazy scene, which I'll say some other day because Deepak will kill me if I take so much time on this.
I think there's a video which we could play, and some of us have seen it, most of you have probably not seen it. But before that video plays, and I hope the video can play on the center screen as well, please, for us. Achha, it can't, not even here? Okay.
What kind of event?
What kind of...
I can't even hear myself. We should have stage monitors.
Almost 30 years back, they brought Michael Jackson to the country.
No, I'm just joking. It's okay.
But I must tell you this, if I can add on, Andre and Viraf didn't leave MJ till he said, "Main Hindustan aa raha hu." If you Google out, you'll find this testimonial, this video exists on Google even now.
Yeah, I taught him in Hindi to speak.
So, can we play that AV, please?
I'm coming to India.
Can we have more audio, please?
For the first time, Mumbai airport was shut down. We had 4 Antonov aircrafts with cargo and 1 jumbo full of crew, and Michael Jackson's private jet landing.
The latest craze stepped off the plane और अनजान लोगों के समूह में अपने आप को पाते हुए भी काफी हद तक घुल मिल गए। यहाँ तक कि अपनी कार से अचानक उतरकर वहाँ के जश्न मनाने वालों के मनोरंजन में शामिल हो गए।
Thank you.
I got goosebumps. Is Rodney here? Rodney was also there. He was our production manager for this. Has he finally come? No, Namit is here, so Rodney must have been here. So. Anyway.
So we just went back 30 years almost, Viraf, and an era where there was probably no bidding and all that, right? It was absolute mayhem. The roads were jammed and all that happened. I still meet people who say, hey, I was there, or I was outside the gate. So there were what? 50,000 people inside and 100,000 people outside.
30, no. So this almost happened 30 years back. And there was this myth, which exactly what you're saying. The venue capacity was only about 16 to 20,000 capacity it was. And the whole Andheri Sports Complex was full. But that was a small stadium, you realize it. There was no other stadium at that point. There was no Divai Patil, there was nothing. There was only one cricket stadium. That was the only space. So we managed with that much crowd. We could have got at least 50,000, 100,000. There were more people outside than inside. But yeah, that was the period.
So Viraf, I'd like to take a little twist now in this, right? I mean, this is great. For promoters who now are looking at concerts, and there was no bidding war then, right, guys? I mean, it was literally like that fax came, and I still remember Andre's face. He just tore that fax and just fucking throw it. Somebody's playing the hoax. To today, where everybody's out there reaching out to the agents reaching out. Give us a learning or give us something which, if you go back in time, you would not do this in concerts. What are the learnings which taught you during the MJ concert? Good and bad both.
I think most important thing to do is whenever you're doing an international artist concert, abide by the law. Do everything that the law says that you can do this or you cannot do this. Don't try to find the other way around to do things to save some money, because that could put you in serious trouble. To our luck, Michael Jackson said that I just want to come to India because I feel my roots belong to India and I want to come, I'm not bothered about the money. So we made it happen. And just the producing part of it, we paid for the expenses. I mean, I was just saying that there were 4 Antonovs, which is like large jumbo army-based Russian cargo carriers, aircrafts. They landed with all the gear. We didn't have sufficient gear, system, staging, nothing. So we just provided them with just a flat stage, and rest was built within 24 hours, and within 8 hours they dismantled everything and it was back out on the plane. So yeah, I think the biggest advice I would like to give you is do it right, do it straight. There's no other way. There's no other way.
Yeah, follow that. In fact, I'll again quote a few more learnings and what I saw. It took us almost 20-25 days to build a stage, which Bijon Dasgupta did. Right? They just told us to give them a stage, 200 feet.
Yes.
And that Antonov crew came in, the Antonov stuff came in.
I'm telling you, in 24 hours, they built the whole thing. They built the whole thing, and in 8 hours, it was out of the stadium. And obviously, there were 350 crew members who had come, and we had provided them with the local crew. So,
and a couple of more learnings again, like the insurance, what we're up to, right? Michael Jackson was the most, in some form, non-committal artist, and he had a couple of cancellations in Asia and, of course, in India once. So that kind of premium to be paid then, I would say, was the budget of some events which happen even now.
Yeah.
Right? So you went by the book. You said we'll not compromise on safety, security. Yeah. I remember we brought in...
See, we did the lookalike show, we lost money. We did Michael Jackson show, we lost more money. But what he did for us, he was the biggest brand ambassador for Wizcraft. He became the biggest brand ambassador for Wizcraft because we went into everybody's homes. Everybody knew Wizcraft was doing this Michael Jackson show. And we were very young as a company, as people, we were very young at that point in time. And I think we owe a lot to Michael Jackson for who we are today.
Absolutely. You became a home ground, right? Everybody got to know Wizcraft. Oh, you are the guys who brought Michael Jackson. And that opened up event management, right? For all of us who worked at Wizcraft, for all of us who wanted to pursue event management. I know a lot of then companies came out during that time. So from Michael Jackson, then many more concerts Wizcraft did, right? At that time, ticketing was not happening, and you decided to
It was a
move out.
disaster because there was no ticketing concept that we have today, and I think the younger generation is extremely lucky to have the ticketing platforms that we have today, because it was all paper tickets. Very difficult to even get those holograms printed.
Yeah, I remember.
And there was a serious issue for all shows of duplication of tickets. There was a serious issue. And a lot of promoters almost died. A lot of promoters lost a lot of money because there was counterfeiting going on like nobody's business. That was a parallel business.
And since Jaswinder was on stage here, we had one partner sponsor, Visa, who was a partner, and they brought 4 banks.
Yeah.
But people were not swiping their cards. So we had to literally go to outlets and sell
Life
tickets.
has changed in
so-
these 30 years. Life is different today. Today, the whole...
So Michael Jackson, God bless his soul, if you were to come now,
yeah.
you would have
Now,
minimum 3-4 shows.
Yeah.
So fast track Viraf to the next levels, and you realize the potential of creating an IP. And I think everybody sitting here and everybody out in the fraternity knows about the origin of IFA. Give us something which we don't know. That why did you pursue IFA? I mean, it took a while, right?
So, just before we started IFA in the year 2000, and the first one happened at Millennium Dome. But before that, about almost 9 to 10 years, we produced and directed Filmfare Awards. We were working on that. Femina Miss India. We were doing the entire production and show running and things like that. And for 8-10 years we did it. And
Mohammed Bhai knows that, right?
yeah,
He was in
Mohammed
the midst of all
Bhai, he's
that,
also
right?
worked with us on some of them.
There was
most of
great
them.
collaboration
So,
then there, guys.
Yeah, so
just give it up for Mohammed Bhai to hang in there constantly. Shahrukh aayega, Shahrukh ko come on, don't-
remember, God bless Pradeep Goha. He was really a good guy to make that happen. But after doing a successful event each year, we still had to pitch and prove ourselves that we are good enough for the next one. So after about 10 years, the 3 of us decided that we don't need to pitch again and again about ourselves. We've done this. Let's do our own. And let's do something that does not compete with Filmfare nor competes with any other award. So let's do something different. And that's how we 3 sat down and put our heads together and said, let's do something where we can take Indian cinema closer to the global audience and to the fans across the world. And we can put an award ceremony and travel with it all over the world. Everybody in the industry thought we were mad, 3 mad guys trying to achieve that.
Again.
Yeah, in the first year, we took about 450 people to London, and we did the first one at the Millennium Dome in London, because that was the venue created for the turn of the century millennium thing. So we did that over there. And everyone thought that this is a one-night wonder. It was a one-night event only, but then when we did the second year, they said, okay, now second year is maximum they'll do, then third year. But then the industry took it seriously, and then each year we grew it to, added 1 more event, added 2 more events, added 3 more events. There's one point in time we started doing about 15, 16 events within a 3-day period. And that's how IFA became a celebration, a global celebration of Indian cinema. And
today, 25 years of IFA.
Yeah.
Right? So a big hand for that. 25 years traveling the world, sustaining, losing money, making money, and still at it, right?
But IFA is not just the 3 of us. I think IFA is beyond the 3 of us. There are too many people who burn the midnight oil to make it happen. It's a very difficult project, and it's more difficult when we do it in India. So yeah, we did the last one in India, and we realized that IFA is a global brand and a global product. It's extremely difficult to do it in India after doing this at the world-class venues that we do in
When you started IFA, did you see it going 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, when you all started? And that was pretty much the birth of events.
We saw it because we put everything that we had, our money, blood, sweat, tears, everything into it. We saw, the 3 of us saw it. But the industry realized it much later. Okay,
much later. And one more commendable thing which I think most of us should realize, Filmfare, Zee Cine, Screen Awards were all media houses and big media houses. Here's an agency called Wizcraft, who set up probably the biggest Indian film awards globally. So for that, I think it's a big hand because they pursued it, got everybody on board,
Yes.
and believed in it.
I can't even believe that we've actually completed 25 years. It's like it just started just some few years back, but just amazing how 25
And
years
if I may
is
say
long.
this, interesting, a lot of people probably don't know who does IFA. The common man doesn't know who does IFA in some form, right?
Yeah.
So that's amazing to keep an IP going. And Viraf, you made money or lost money on IFA first year?
I think for the first few years, we wouldn't say we lost money. We don't like to say we lost money anymore.
You invested.
We
well.
invested in the brand. So we invested in the brand for our first few years, not just 1 year. We invested for almost 5-7 years.
So,
And we are still investing actually.
yay, well done. Sabas, I want to do this once again.
I think for a brand like IFA, it's beyond money. It's you require a lot of passion, a lot of imagination, and a lot of dedication to make it happen. It's just
Viraf, a lot of people here are passionate about what they're doing. We all have passion. How to turn that into money is what you wizards have to tell us. Because you lost money on, let me say, you lost money on Michael Jackson, but you invested. You invested in IFA. How did it all run then?
no, not all IFA we lost money.
Okay.
Every time you charter into a different territory or you want to do more, that's when you invest. Okay? So when you do from 3 events, you do all of a sudden you say, no, now we want to grow it. Let's make it 8 events. So you invest again in the next 5 events.
And then you find avenues to make
Yeah, and then we
revenue
find
from-
ways and sponsorships and ticketing revenues and
and
government
people who-
funding.
Yeah, that was interesting, right? When
So-
government started giving you a check and
Yeah.
inviting IFA, that
Yeah,
was a great.
Yeah. And when we did IFA, and like we've done IFA, we never realized that award ceremony could actually bring something like 35,000 people in a stadium in America. And that's what really happened to IFA even in Canada. When we did in Canada, I remember I was doing a press conference and somebody came and whispered, and we had, that same day we had open ticket sales. And I just announced that we are sold out. It was like within 8 minutes we sold out. About 24,000 capacity in Toronto. So yeah, that's the power of the brand that
Absolutely
one
awesome.
create,
So again, lessons, right? Stay put on your course, find ways to get revenue in from sources beyond the ordinary, and stay invested in your IP, in your dreams, in your passion as well. And then came a very, very, very big event, right? From concerts to IPs to sporting events, government events, and the Commonwealth Games, which was again a game changer for our industry.
Again, like, yeah, that was like a dream come true for me personally and for Wizcraft. Actually, we put our mind to it. We knew that India is going to bring Commonwealth Games, and none of us knew how to do a sporting event ceremony. So we started off with national games, and we learned doing a national games. Then we did some other events, Southeast Asian Games, and we did Afro-Asian Games.
Afro-Asian.
Then we did another national games. Then we did presentations for the government for bringing the Commonwealth Games to India.
We went down to Australia.
Yeah, we went to Jamaica, we went to multiple places to make a presentation, a cultural presentation representing Government of India along with the ministers and everybody to pitch to bring Commonwealth Games. We won that. And then we got the chance to do the Commonwealth Games, and before that we did the Youth Commonwealth Games in Pune. And then, yeah, we had to, it was...
And in the city of Delhi,
yeah.
when it rained cats and dogs in the month of October, and I must tell you this, there were a battalion of international consultants during Commonwealth Games. David Shepard, was he, or somebody like that?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they literally ran away. They said, this is not happening. It's going to be a disaster. You all will lose face. The government will take you behind. And they ran away.
So what was happening was the media was at its peak to badger the government and about the corruption, etc., that was going on with the Commonwealth Games. And just before the opening ceremony, a week before that, and there was serious negative publicity going on. So, and it started, I think, a couple of weeks ahead of the Commonwealth Games. So all these international experts that were hired, They literally packed the bags and without telling anybody, they just went off to USA, UK, back to their places. And a couple of them hung around, okay, saying that this event cannot happen. The stadium which we were supposed to get 3 months before for a built-in and rehearsals 1 month before was given to us only 1 month before. And even when we got in, because of the rains, what Shaju is saying, it was like a crazy situation. The whole team saw the football field which was our stage to perform, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. And when some of our team members ran onto the field, it was like quicksand. They went in this much into the sand. And we said, shh, what the hell is that? And like literally, I've got photographs and videos. And then I called the cabinet secretary, I said, and he told me, whenever there's serious emergency, call me. I said, I want you to come here, sir. This event, how will it happen in 30 days? So then we had to put almost 600, 700 trucks full of sand and about 100 road rollers to fill that gap. And the gap was almost as much as this flooring and this stage in the entire football field. And then we solidified the ground. Then we put other materials over it, and then we built the whole venue. So we got, instead of 1 month of rehearsals, we got only 7 days of rehearsal, but we pulled it through.
Absolutely. Yeah. You did the impossible once
and
again.
Trust me, on the opening ceremony, we changed the whole mood. The media started talking positively about the whole situation, but nobody knew the kind of real trauma that we were going through behind the scene.
I'll remember this, and again I can tell you what I experienced, and I was fortunate to be called back, and I was part of this madness. And I remember Viraf saying, every one of you do not watch television, don't look at news, heads down, just focus on what we got to do.
Yeah, because the crew was in every meeting saying, is this going to happen, sir? Is it going to happen? I said, put your blinders on, do what we are best at doing, forget about the world, forget these games are happening, opening ceremony is happening. This is the pride of our country, and we got to make it shine. So we have to do what we do best. And everyone just did the best.
There were bridges falling, people were accusing, and then we said straight, and exactly that happened. That event actually changed the entire PR agenda of the country to the world, and the power of an event is what it is. So I think hats off to everybody who does events here in this room. And if I may just add one more, and I'm picking up, I think what Sumit said yesterday, that why we restrict doing events in India only, and I think the best and the biggest weddings happen by Indian wedding planners globally. I'll cut back and go back to the Mauritius Independence Day, which we did when I was in Wizcraft. And we were bidding against 3 European companies. I remember that.
Yes.
And we created, Viraf's vision of creating a 50-foot statue of the father of the nation. So you want to say that quickly if I can?
So for the pitch, we were asked to pitch to the Prime Minister's office in Mauritius within 3 days. We were supposed to be on a flight. So I remembered Michael Jackson's history promo video, where Michael Jackson's statue was there, like giant, and there was helicopters with searchlights around it, if you remember. And there was a whole unveiling of the statue where the cloth came down. And I just went to a studio and morphed Michael Jackson, the Prime Minister's father's face, which was the father of the nation, to that. And then they just saw that and said, we want this. And then we did it. We built a 110-foot fiberglass statue. Late Nitin Desai actually created the statue for us in fiberglass at Film City in Mumbai, and then we cut it back into pieces and we took it on Air Mauritius flight and built it over there, and we built up the whole show.
Choppers flying in and a person coming out of the chopper and revealing the whole hog happened.
Yeah.
And it happened, right? So this is 25 years back, Viraf. So why are we not going out and bidding against other international companies on international shows? That's something I think is a miss.
Yeah, we've done that in Oman, when the last 2 Oman tattoos have been done by us. These are large, really large events. It's not one football field. Like the stage is like 4 football fields. And there are tanks. And this is a showcase of the might of the armed forces of the country.
So the question is, Viraf, why can't we go out and bid in other countries?
Who stops you?
Yeah, why are we undermining ourselves?
We've outbidded some foreign companies, and we've got these 2 events. It happens once in 5 years. We got both the last ones. After that, they stopped doing it because their ruler passed away. So they've stopped doing tattoo.
Yeah, so I think it's time to, apart from talking to the government of India and the states of India, we should also talk to countries and figure out that, we are as good as anybody else globally out there. Lydia, welcome to the Mayhem. We are going back in time 3 decades. You'll remember some memories of Channel V music. So, again, coming back to this era and then, right? You did from concerts to IPs to the sports ceremonies. Then what was left? And you figured out something more. Musicals then came into your being, right? Yes. And Lydia, you walked at the right time where we're just going into the first era of musicals, what you did for the country.
Yeah, actually, that was just before the Commonwealth Games. And I'd gone on a tour of Las Vegas and Paris, and I saw Moulin Rouge, and I saw a few shows in Vegas, and I got inspired. And I said, we have such amazing stories and concepts and our cinema industry over here. So why are we not, why we in India don't have a show like that? We have so much of history, so much of culture. And I just thought, and then I spoke to Andre and Sabas that we got to do this, we got to create a show for India, which is like the biggest Bollywood musical stage production. And we set out our journey on that. We didn't find an appropriate theatre, so we built a theatre for it. We were mad again. And
a lot of money went into it?
Yeah.
Approximately?
Approximately. Lot of heartburn. We created Kingdom of Dreams just for the show. Again, everyone thought we were mad, but the show ran for almost more than 13 years. 13 years. Every day, 8 shows a week, and we did some 3,500 shows approximately.
Unheard of for India, like a house show.
It was a game changer for the theatre industry, actually. It was called Zangura. I think some of you all must have seen it. And it was our first hand at theatre and the first hand at doing something like this.
I think one more round of huge applause for again pioneering stage musicals into country. And invested well again, right, Viraf?
Yeah,
the word is invested well.
Yeah. But what happened was after that, we did another show called Jumru.
At KOD again,
yes.
Right? At Kingdom.
And then Dubai was setting up Bollywood Parks. And the chairman of Bollywood Parks, who was part of the government of UAE, he came down to see Zangura as a benchmark. And then he saw and he got so excited that he came 3 times, 4 times. He got once his family, once his friends, once his team members. And then he called me and said that, listen, I want to meet you. I'm coming with my team to see it and I want to meet you. So I came to Delhi and then I met him. He was seeing the show. And then he said, I want this show in Dubai. So I said, okay, I'll give you, saying, no, but you have to shut it down here. I said, no, this is a fitted show for Kingdom of Dreams. I can't shut it down. The whole place is based on this show. So I'll create another show for you. So we created Jaane Jigar for them. That was a really big production. But I think, again, COVID happened to them. Immediately after that, a couple of years it ran and then the whole Bollywood park shut down.
Again, an example of an international company, a country calling in an Indian company and trusting you with a production, right? So the faith on being able to deliver compared to other Western experts, right?
Yeah, and then we have currently one show running called Balle Balle My Big Fat Indian Wedding, which we also did. And in last, we did about 500 shows within Mumbai and Delhi, and then we are right now for the last 3 years on a cruise ship called Cordelia. And
I don't know if you all know about this. Do you all know about the Cordelia cruise? So there's a show called Balle Balle actually running live, which Wizcraft producing the entire entertainment for the
actually
cruise.
We do the whole entertainment on the cruise, and we have done about 5 shows we run on daily basis over there.
This is good economics now.
Yeah. They pay us, and services is the best part of business.
So you produce, invest, and then do the services back again.
Yes.
So Viraf, just speaking again, learnings, right? What should one of us do when we want to produce a musical? Because
go and produce it.
And how much investment to put in?
Don't worry. I mean, just
will we make money?
You should be mad enough to do things. Only passion and being mad will make you do things which are unusual. Okay? And if you start putting logic to everything, you'll never be able to progress or do anything. So you got to be mad and do things which really
get mad, guys.
Get you going.
And just go out there. It's as brave as getting married, right, Viraf, in some form? All right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, now you've done everything. Question is going to be what next? So before that, there's an AV which you wanted to play. Should we do that or just go into the question?
Whatever you want.
Is there a special AV which is a reel?
This is just a, It depends on if you want to play it. If you're running
Do we
out
have
of
time, guys? Yeah. Okay. Let's play the
This
AV.
is
Yeah.
some
let's-
of the
let's-
work that is done by us over the years.
Before we go to
some of the large events.
final question, either the IFA AV or the next AV, which one of them? Yeah.
No, play the special.
The special one. This is the IFA.
Play the special projection.
आइफा की कहानी साल 2000 में शुरू हुई थी।
Good evening, Amsterdam.
Hi, Bangkok!
Very, very good evening to everyone here in Toronto.
Good evening, Tampa Bay.
Hola, Madrid! What's up, New York? Salam, Abu Dhabi!
राजस्थान की मिट्टी को रू बाबा का सप्रेम खम्मा घड़े.
Namaste, India.
Experience the
You can pause this
extraordinary.
now. Yeah. You can stop. Thank you. Yeah. So, which continent did you not go to yet, Viraf? I mean, I first gone to every possible continent.
Australia.
Oh, so that's pending.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think very soon we'll be doing that.
Okay. So now what next? What other mad trip are you on? Or what other? Is it time to, because now concerts are
I
happening.
think we have already entered the field through all this work that we've done. I think to complete the circle of entertainment, we are in content production business now through Viz Films, and we've already released one film called Kadak Singh with Pankaj Tripathi, which is on Z5, and right now, I think sometime this year we'll be releasing a 4-episode docu-series on the life of Salman Khan called Beyond the Stars Salman Khan. It's his life story which we are producing and putting it together. We're directing that, and hopefully by the year end on his birthday we plan to release it on one of the platforms. And many more movies in the pipeline. Actually, we are working on a lot of scripts internally, and
So mainstream film production as well
Yes,
now, right? And
yes.
So there is no stopping you in terms of going out there and doing whatever you
Why
want.
should
right?
anything stop us?
Absolutely. So go out and become Mr. Prime Minister as well in some form.
no.
someday. It's happy to create events, right?
Maybe Sabas, I don't know about me.
Sabas for Prime Minister. So, Viraf, what we've been speaking over the last 2 days about the emergence of concerts and the concert economy, with the Honorable Prime Minister has said, and IPs and all, right? Wizcraft pretty much started it along with Venkat when he also was part of the concerts, right? The DNA networks, guys. Let's give it up for Venkat as well. Venkat was
Yeah. Actually, we worked a lot with him. Once we did just the security management, venue management for one of the shows. I think Europe concert that he had done, also Samantha Fox. All that, and actually something, and there's always a learning from what you work with other people, and then you get inspired, and then you start doing things and you want to do. So keep dreaming, guys. Actually, you have all the might, and if you put your mind to it, you'll make it happen. So whatever you want to do, just go and do. There's only one life. Make it happen. Okay? Get the madness out of your head and do it. Otherwise, you'll never be able to do it. Seriously.
So what's that next mad dream? I want to know. I mean, now that apart from films and productions, the international concert business is absolutely ripe and kicking, and for the next few years.
Yeah,
So,
actually, I think the time is right now. We are moving back strongly into the space. We had stopped doing concerts for a few years, concentrating on our services business and things like that. So yeah, we've coming back really strongly. I think one thing we forgot, which was really years back, we had done really large weddings, and we are back into doing really large weddings now again. So that also gives you a lot of...
There are a few wedding planners here. They're all listening to you as well.
Yeah, no problem.
We are all in the business.
We can all work together, no problem. But we are really planning some really large weddings, and yeah, we're planning some very good concerts too. And
Tell me about the concert now, Viraf. Which artist?
You'll come to know. You'll come to know. Otherwise, somebody will quote higher, no?
And a bit.
The whole evening, whole day, I've been hearing about the same thing.
The bidding war will then begin.
Yeah.
So we definitely look forward to again the concerts.
Yeah. Definitely. This season we'll be doing a few shows.
Any more IPs, Viraf? Any more event IPs?
Yes, definitely.
So this time you don't need to invest because it'll make money year one possibly, right?
We'll invest. It's all about investing and creating value.
And then keep getting revenue from the weddings and the corporate events and the governments as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a balance which is a learning as well, right? Stay invested, pursue your dream, of course be mad to some extent. I think the three madmen who stayed together from that. I think you started from a garage where it all started from?
From my house actually.
So from there...
Hall room was the first office. Then we moved
dining
to...
table?
No, then we moved to a business center.
There
Correct.
used to be business centers there?
Then we moved to a garage. And then we...
Absolutely. So that's the dream, right? Keep pursuing your dream, stay invested, look after each other as your partners. I mean, this is a great story of three absolutely different personalities, individuals. Some of us have seen that madness who have been Wizcraft. Truly hats off to the
We almost know each other for 40 years now. And we are partners for 38 years. Wizcraft is 38 years old. So also one more thing that I would like to tell all of you, that you may be having partners or whatever. There's one thing very important is trust in partnership and believing in each other. If you have these two things, your partnership will last forever.
And that partnership need not be restricted within the company, like what we are talking about, collaboration with other event companies or
anything,
partners.
but then there is
the trust with each other to kind of back
Yes.
it up all the way. And
Yes.
that's being seen in the industry. A lot of event companies coming together to create one IP, to come together for concerts. So I think that's a great agenda there.
Right.
So any final word for us, Viraf, from your dream point of view?
Final words, I always say, believe in the power of your dreams and only then they'll be fulfilled. So dream on, guys. Make it all happen. Get it out of your brain and make it happen. That's all.
And keep at it. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody has any questions for Viraf before we sign off? Anybody wants to know a little more in detail about how much money he invested or which artist is coming? Rima? Morbhai? So, there is a question there. Can we have mic there, please?
So I've interacted with Sabas the most. So who does what between three of you?
Actually,
Is this out of curiosity or
Curiosity. I know what Sabas does. I don't know.
Okay, that will. I thought you want to apply to your own company then.
Initially, three of us did everything. Okay, because we were only three of us. And then we started, as years go by and then you work, you find your niche, you find your way, and you find your path yourself of what you're good at. So each one of us do different things. Sabas works with corporates and he does relationship management with corporates and things like that. Andre has relationship management with the industry and he runs the project IFA. And I produce and direct events for Wizcraft. So we have three different things which support each other. Sabas works on sponsorships and corporate events and stuff like that. He also works on other events. But now it's become that teams are doing things on their own and we are like out so we can do more. Always two more things I want to tell you is empower your people, train them down the line. Don't think they're going to learn and run away. Even if they run away, so what, the industry is growing. We've been going through that for the last 30 years. But must train people down the line to take then only you'll be able to grow. So keep empowering knowledge down. that is one
Absolutely.
very important thing that you got to learn.
Create your second line and keep the
Yeah.
faith in them.
Yeah.
And so what if they move? It's okay.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yeah.
And the ecosystem is
Yeah,
increasing.
yeah.
Right? And so many hundreds of us have come out of the house of Wizcraft, and we really thank the three of you for inspiring us.
No.
And we improvise ourselves and start and learn more and kind of contribute. Yeah. Is there a mic?
See.
So, personally, a big thank you to all three of you, Viraf, Andre, and Sabas. You are the gurus of not just me, the entire industry. And
You're not that old, huh? You may think.
You've just said you've been together for 40 years, so.
Yeah,
But-
age is just a number.
Yes.
That's all you.
No, but thank you. Thank you for all the whizzes and the wazzes.
Thank you.
But we loved Zangura, we loved KOD. I want to know what went wrong. It's such a beautiful production, such an amazing venue. So, it was the best thing that happened to the space. Please also tell us
What not
if-
to
if
do?
you- yeah.
Or what?
No. You dreamt big. You made it happen. Why is it that it, whatever happened to it happened? If you don't mind.
My learning is there's one thing to create it, and the second thing is to run it. Okay? Running it is, you think creating is very difficult, but I think creation is the easiest thing in terms of when you have funds coming in to create whatever you want to create. But running it on a day-to-day basis is a big one. And we had crazy amount of people working just on one show. We had about 350 people running one show. And that ran for almost 12 and a half, 13 years. And the last straw was actually COVID. COVID killed that place, couldn't financially hold on to it. And then it just went into running losses, etc. And it just went into a red. Yeah.
So it's a good time when to shut down and then find something else. I guess that's what. So now.
But if you were to do it again, would you do anything differently? I mean, that KOD, I'm talking about that particular production.
Yeah, I'll only create shows, no more a venue, because that requires a very different kind of expertise. And we are experts at creating shows, so we'll continue. In fact, I'm on the verge of planning, or actually planned already, a very big production, a musical production, theatrical musical production.
House somewhere or to be traveling?
Traveling. Never keep it one place, make something which can travel.
So Ankur, probably that's for another session, maybe at Wow Imagine, where I'll have Lydia talking about.
So many people around the world came and saw Zangura, and they kept saying, why you don't bring Zangura to New York or London, it's going to do so well. But it was so large as a production, we could not travel with it ever. And if you travel with a smaller, like from 350 people to 60 people, it would lose its shine. So we could never travel. So whatever you create in terms of that space, create with not more than 50, 60 people that can travel. Otherwise, it won't work.
With the production packaged well, and so that.
Concept and production.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rima, you have a question?
So, of course, one of my questions was, along all this success, what were the failures? But you just, threw some light on that. But the other question is that, Shaju spoke about how Indian companies should go abroad and pitch. And, how do we change that narrative where European companies come and pitch to us? And, how does Wizcraft, you're the pioneers in doing something like this. What should change in our mindset first? To change this whole narrative of Indian companies, oh, Indian company did this, oh, Indian company did that. That should not be the narrative any longer. I think it should just be that we are global. We are damn good at what we do. So I think that narrative needs to change. And how do you think that should change?
You have to, how do you say, you have to think global and act local, or act local and think global, whichever way it works for you. But today with internet, if you really go and scout, you will see there are 100 things happening all over the world. And today nothing stops you from pitching for those things. So just write a mail to them, connect with them and say, hey, we are this company from India, we would like to pitch. And they'll write back to you, or if they're interested, and then the door's open for you.
It's about you being, I guess, if I can say that.
I couldn't hear properly.
That's not my question, though.
No
yeah.
monitors.
Yeah, about saying that, yes, I can do that. I can go out and be one among, we are a global company, right? We all are global players now. So why not, right? If that's the...
Yeah, why not? I mean,
What I mean is, Shaju, that, we are constantly saying this, and I'm talking to us here, that, oh, we are an Indian company and we won this amongst the Europeans and the Americans and stuff like that. I think we need to change that bit, right? Within ourselves, that, we are who we are and we're really good. We're not, it's taken as something that is, Sabas, okay.
Sabas will...
Two challenges. One is, whenever you hear of Indian companies pitching to international companies or international clients, you'll always hear from them about how the Indian companies spend more time talking negative about their competitors than about positives about themselves. So, one thing I've learned, when you talk to the French, you talk to the Italians, they'll always speak about their colleagues and competitors in a positive light. That's something to learn.
Yeah. That philosophy.
The second part is this, that we need to learn how to depend on others and not think that everything has to be done by us. Every one of us as companies or as businesses have our strengths. Focus on your strength and collaborate with others, be it as vendors, be it as partners, be it as suppliers to you. Because if they're good at what they're doing, they'll reduce the labor for yourself, the stress for you, and you can focus on what you're best at, own what you're doing, and flourish. This entire thing of we having to do it from end to end is our biggest drain, and we don't focus on what's best for us.
See, globally, there are specialist agencies for everything. Okay, so even the large companies, they have very limited team, but when they get the job, they outsource everything. Everything is available in terms of experts. So, yeah.
Yeah, as producers, they're a very lean, mean team, which
very
we learned
lean
from
and
a
mean,
few
yeah.
London producers, and
Yeah.
then they would get experts like what Sabas said to do that. Yeah. Sabas, thank you for that. And I think we have really overshot time, but
Yes,
the
thank
evening
you.
is not enough to get what we can, so for
Thank
some
you.
other time.
Thank you.
But continue to be mad, continue to be pioneers and really the wizards of who you are. I think the wizards needs a standing ovation, Sabas, to you and to Viraf for making us do what we are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sabas, if you can join us on
We'll
stage,
have to come
please.
from
Yeah.
there.
Please. Come on, Sabas. And we'll have Andre in a holographic image here as well.
Get the cutout of Andre.